Oh, yeah, logic. Today I finished the 32. Okay. So coming back to this, this shows a flow chart describing how paper is manufactured in a paper mill. Write the details in a paragraph. Here, again, unlike the percentages shown in a bar graph and pie chart, here you have to mention it in mentioning all the details in a paragraph. The flow charts begin with what it is. The picture shows a flow chart, or the flow chart shows, you can begin like that. Okay, children? So the flow chart shows the manufacture of paper. In this we can see, in this we notice the raw materials What are the raw materials here mentioned? Wood, grass, bamboo, and rags. What do you mean by rags? Children, when you do read it, you should understand the words. Rags means torn piece of cloth is known as, like you see the beggars wearing torn clothes. We say they are dressed in rags. So rags is basically torn piece of cloth. So the raw materials, in this we notice the raw materials, that is wood, grass, bamboo, and rags are cut into pieces and immersed into. Okay, you can use abbreviations. Put a comma instead of writing and. Immersed in water and made into pulp. Mixed, they are then mixed with lime for whitening. I hope my handwriting is clear, children. I'm writing in small letters so that the place will be sufficient for you. Already everything is there. You just need to know the construction of the sentence. And pulp is boiled. Make use of commas and hyphens, children, instead of conjunctions. It will make the paragraph very lengthy. Pass through wire meshes Then the wet paper. Then the wet paper is rolled on heated rollers and thin sheets of paper. And we get thin sheets of paper. It is very easy for you to write this because here all the details are to be implemented. You cannot make do without leaving out any point. So all the points are to be included and understand the matter, then it is very easy for you to write. A flowchart shouldn't be any problem. While making a flowchart is slightly difficult, but from a flowchart to a text is very, very easy. The following process is the description of how a post office transfers a letter from a sender to a receiver. First, the sender posts the letter in a letter box. Next, the box is open. Then the contents in it are sorted out. Then they are kept in a bag and bag. This is bag. Bag is tied. The destination is written on the bag. The bags are sent to the district post office. The district post office sends the bags to the destination, village, town post offices. The destination post office receives the letter. The received letters are arranged and sorted out. The postman delivers the letters to the addresses. There are almost 10 to 12 boxes that you have to write. So first, how do you write that heading? The following process is the description of how a post office transfers a letter from a sender to a receiver. That should be your heading. Next comes, in a box you have to write, children. Sender sends the letter. Or you, instead of send, you can say post the letter. In a post box. And you have to write a kind of, it's a table, sorry, flow chart. So you have to draw boxes to show. This is the first, then show an arrow, draw the second box. In the second box where you, the contents are sorted out. Contents are sorted. You don't have to write everything sorted out and all that. Okay, make it brief. Next step, put an arrow. Next step is letters are kept in the bag and time. Don't use abbreviations. English, there's no abbreviation. Next box. They are sent to district post office. What are the next step? District post office sends it to district post office sends to destination. Put a dash over there and write village or village bar town. Town post office. Okay. Till now, how many did we write? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have already written. Next. What is the next one? Destination post office receives. Destination post office receives letters. Once the district post office receives letter, what do? They sort it out. Letters are sorted. And then there are 2 more steps. How many did we write? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are sorted out. The postman did one more. The postman delivers the letter. So this is how you go about doing a flow chart, children. It should be in a proper order. In a hurry, very easy, all are simple, very, especially flow charts. You don't agreed that if it's a pie chart, it's slightly difficult because you have to draw the sectors properly. But otherwise, tree diagram, what's the other? Bar graph and flow chart are very easy. And the next is table, which is even more very easy. But then you have to notice that there is an error over here. In your study material, basic English grammar and close summary percentages are, although with lower portion, they are considered as reading tests. But if you check your study material, no percentage is given because it's not mentioned here. Now, the last mentioned is 8.76. And this English grammar and close summary, and here close spelling is wrong, it is Z. The percentages are of lower position. That means you should write less than, they are so less, they felt it's not worth it. It may be 1.27 or 0.57, but whatever it is, when you draw the table, you can't leave it blank. You have to fill all the percentages of the subject mentioned there. Lower portion means lower than 8.76. So you assume, write anything. Here, the whole thing doesn't come to one even number. You can write anything. So this is a mistake in your material, children. Please make note of it. Don't leave it incomplete. First, let's read. A reading test assesses reading comprehension by employing multiple testing techniques represented by 8 main types of questions. Question types such as multiple choice, matching, diagram labeling, summary completion, sentence completion, short answer questions with percentages. He has given you the percentage. The highest multiple choice is 37.50, then 18.13 for matching, diagram labeling 16.25, then comes summary completion at 10, sentence completion at 9.36, short answer questions at 8.76. But he has also mentioned English grammar and close summary. So you have to add that. Okay? Multiple testing techniques. Before, and this is the percentages. You first, before that, you have to give a heading, children. Heading is a must. So here it is, reading comprehension by employing multiple testing techniques. You can give that, and under that first is multiple choice. I'm using abbreviation, children, but you write the whole thing, multiple choice, and the percentage is 37.50. Next comes matching. This consists of 18.13. Next is diagram labeling. That is 16.25. Next is %. Next is sentence completion at 9.36. 9.36. Then comes short answer question at 8.76. Now, what are the other two? They are English grammar and close summary. If you have seen your material, it's kept like this blank. You can't leave it blank. When he says lower quotient, it is so low that it's not worth mentioning. So you write 1.20 or 1.08. They are lower than that, or you can write 3.20, 1.08. So this is a must, children. There are a lot of mistakes in your study material. When there are some mistakes in your study material, you have to rectify it. You just can't write it like that. Otherwise, it depends on who the examiner is. If it is a smart examiner, he will definitely not give you full marks. He won't know that in your study material, it's not mentioned. So he may deduct marks. But there is no harm in writing some other. Mention something else. Lower than 8.76. So remember all this, children. Why I'm telling you is you use your common sense, children. When it is mentioned over the English grammar and close summary, percentages are although with lower quotients and are also added, you can are also, I can't see this, in reading test. It is part of the reading test. So that is why you have to do accordingly. Now coming on to the last table. Study the table below showing a few Asian countries with their capitals and currencies. Write a paragraph containing all the information in the table. Here, the country is mentioned, capital is mentioned, currency. So you have to write everything. You can say this is, make this capital letter, a few Asian countries with the capitals and currencies. That should be your heading, and you can write all the details. You needn't leave out anything. This table shows that the capital of Afghanistan is Kabul, and the currency is Afghani. What happens usually when we are writing, the next point we usually write it in another paragraph. But when here very clearly, in every question, it's mentioned clearly a paragraph. So remember this, children. This is very important. Especially those who are writing betterment, you stand to lose a mark if you write a different paragraph. Capital of China is Beijing. And the yuan is the currency. You can change it and write it a little different also. Tokyo is Capital of Japan. And yeah, and yen is the currency used there. Real is used in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi. Singapore is the capital and the dollar is also Singapore dollar. Currency is Singapore dollar. Some of them are very clear-cut, very easy for you to write. But there was a twist in the earlier two texts that I'm going to repeat again. And one which we didn't do, it is in the flow chart of the first exercise in your book. It's about the timings in a boarding school. It is not put in proper order. When it is not in order, children, you have to write it in a proper order. Put it in proper order and continue writing. Like here, all this is clear-cut. Where it is clear, it's not at all a problem. Where certain things are left out, which I have mentioned, keep it in mind, children, when you write it. And there will be some mistake. Like over here, instead of bag, it is written as bag. If you have a doubt, you can always ask the invigilator for clarification, but don't ask your neighbor. If you ask your neighbor, it is as if you are asking question. And like I said, where there are errors and nothing, please correct it, children. In the book, don't follow your study material without understanding. Okay? Like where did I, two places here, like I said in close summary. First thing, close is spelling wrong, and English grammar, it is not mentioned. Please see that you mention it. And this is also tree diagram, very clear cut. There shouldn't be any problem for you if it comes as a text to write it in a diagram or as a diagram into text. This is also clear cut, not a problem. Like I told you, about 80% Here in the, when you draw, see that there are three bars for 80%. You can draw the same bar for writing skills, speaking skills, and grammar. Don't write one bar and write all the three. When it's given separately, you're supposed to mention it separately. And regarding this, it looks very clear, but when you are already drawing this, I don't understand why you have to mention the mode of transport in the pie chart. If you want to keep it neat, you just write keep and either draw the different diagrams, or you can always color them neatly. And this is what I said, a major mistake made by the children. Most of the students did not write all other languages initially, till I pointed out. Remember, a pie chart will have an even number. There's never an odd number in a pie chart. Calculate it and see if it's 100, then start drawing the sectors and a thing. If it shows that it is not having even number, there is some twist over there. Like I said, here he clearly says all other languages together share the remaining percentage, but because the percentage is not mentioned, most of the children overlook it. So with this, we shall end the session. So few things I want to tell you, children. Please, if your presentation is very neat, you stand to get complete 4 marks. Like I told you, for descriptive writing, and this study skills comes under descriptive if you write it in the text. Text or diagram. It's a descriptive, and we are not supposed to give you full 4 marks. So there are chances of reduction of marks. So always go in for a diagram, present it well. If the examiner is impressed, you stand to get full 4 marks in a diagram. Text, avoid as far as possible, because in a text, no one gives you full 4 marks. However well you write, there are chances you'll get only 3. If it's well written, 3.5. Otherwise, maybe 4 or 3. But a diagram, I can assure you, if it is, and don't say you draw the stupid diagram, not untidy, and a thing, did not color or did not prepare a key and expect 4 marks. If it's well presented, yes, you can get 4 marks. So with this, we have finished study skills. We have finished, previously we did reading comprehension, correction of sentences. All I have done. As far as possible, I've covered as many chapters as I can. Tomorrow, I shall start taking the lessons. We'll revise the annotations and question answers once again. So come well prepared, keep the books ready, note down the important points as and when we give you a lecture. And remember, practice makes a man perfect, especially grammar. You need to practice a lot. And annotations, most of you learn it by heart. Then write it down, because there will be grammatical errors, spelling errors, and punctuation. Children are great ones for writing names in small letters. So avoid all this, and betterment children try and write as well as possible, present it well, and try to get 98 out of 100. Thank you. Have a good day.